You all set to dive in, Dr. Dahl?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mehul Dalal. I'm the Community Services Administrator for the City of New Haven. Thank you for joining us for this press conference, really talking about some the services we've been offering on an ongoing basis throughout the pandemic, but we really want to, given the time with the American Rescue Plan being passed and folks continuing to think really in detail about their finances and as we hope to recover from the pandemic and the economic bounce back. We want to present to you some of the services we offer with the city in conjunction with many of the partners who are represented here on this call. So just a brief overview, the Financial Empowerment Centers offers professional one-to-one financial counseling as a free public service for residents of New Haven to address a range of financial challenges and needs. I think this is really important from a community services standpoint, as providing oversight to health and human services for the city. I think it's so important that we have this program as part of our core portfolio. I think, often people with the highest needs and highest barriers to accessing financial services are the ones most at risk of falling behind, falling the debt traps, not having the appropriate resources to build an appropriate savings and cushion for themselves. And I know we've been talking a lot in terms of health and mental health over the course of the past year. And it's really important to point out that, these financial empowerment services play a direct role in assisting folks on, health and mental health outcomes as well. So there's a lot of connections and coordination between these financial empowerment services that we'll be learning more about and the overall work of the Community Services Administration and the Health Department. We have a few speakers lined up today. Obviously, the mayor, who needs no introduction, he'll just go over some points about the importance of the FEC Financial Empowerment Center. John Mers, the CEO of Connecticut Association of Human Services, will be speaking next. He's really, led the organization that we've partnered very closely with in New Haven in providing these services in a coordinated way to the residents. John Murphy of the Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund will speak next. He represents our funding partner, but beyond just being a funder, he's really kind of on the ground giving detailed technical assistance to our staff to make sure that we're successful. And finally, we have a patron of our services, Mr. Corinthian Hamilton, who will also be talking a little bit about experiences with financial empowerment work. So with that, I'll hand it over to the mayor.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see everyone today. And I ran into some folks here over at the city's vaccination site just earlier today. So it's exciting to see that you made it back to the to the Zoom in time. I wanted to just talk real quick, big picture. We've obviously, over the past year, a little bit over a year, faced unprecedented challenges as a community. And when you think about the way that we as a city have responded to the pandemic, it really reflects, I think, the values of our leadership in the city. And looking at the number of people that are on this call and the work that you have done is just one indication of that. We have focused on equity and making sure that individuals and communities that have historically been underserved had the resources that were needed to access food. We've given out, in partnership with so many organizations, over 1 million meals, access to a device and internet for every New Haven public school child, access to housing. We've rehoused throughout the pandemic over 350 individuals permanently, which is hard enough to do in normal times. Access to testing with so many pop-ups, and now access to vaccines. We've done over 30 pop-up vaccine sites in underserved communities around the city. And the financial empowerment is just one other example of the focus on equity and making sure that people have the support that is needed. And your team, you've been doing this work for a while, but you have stepped up and added to your portfolio the support that you are giving to the community in a time when there's great need, but also money on the table for folks, right? You think about our Castle program that has some unfortunately necessary paperwork that is complicated for people. You're working to help support people working through that paperwork. When you think about the stimulus bill, there's money on the table for people if they go through the right steps, and you're working to ensure that people have access to that funding. When you think about, of course, taxes and making sure that people are able to access or complete their taxes and get potentially a good refund, you are directly helping people in so many ways and focusing on equity, making sure that those individuals that may not have the resources are able to have the support, but actually get more resources that can directly benefit people's lives. And so I'm so proud to be a part of this team and proud of the leadership team that we have here, and grateful for this collaboration. Thank you. Hand it over to John, I guess.
Thanks, Mayor Elicker. You sort of took the words out of my mouth. Partnership, partnership, partnership. We are so thrilled that we've got a partnership with the city of New Haven, and that we work hand in glove. And I sort of have this vision that the American Rescue Plan is a bank that we just robbed legally, that we have these big bags of money that we've given to our staff who work tirelessly to hand it out. And so my real purpose here today is to do a shout out to Brenda and Stacy, to Latrice and Fernando, who I know technically are city employees, but we count them as our family. Our newest member, Scott, and they work so tirelessly underneath the leadership of Takima Robinson. We joke in the office here that teamwork makes the dream work. We've all heard that slogan, but we really embrace that. And it just is shown every day at the FEC. So I'm just thrilled to play a very small role, which is to get out of the way and let the staff do what they do best, which is to work with the clients most in need. We're all about equity. We're all about anti-poverty. We've been doing it for 100 years. And well after my time, hopefully there won't be a need to do it for another 100 years. But if there is, we're going to be here. So glad to be a part of the partnership, and going to turn it over to our friend John Murphy.
Thank you, John, and Mayor Elicker, Dr. Dalal, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Murphy, and I'm a principal at the national nonprofit organization, Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund. And I'm really excited to be here with you all this morning to talk about the national success of the Financial Empowerment Center model and the real help that the New Haven Financial Empowerment Center provides New Haveners on a daily basis. And you heard it from John, you heard it from Dr. Dalal and the mayor, just remarkable work being done by this incredible team. The CFE Fund works with more than 100 local governments across the country, representing over 75 million people, helping them to embed financial empowerment programs and policies into local government infrastructure. And the idea that government had a unique and vital role to play in building resident financial stability really took root after the 2008 recession. And what started as the New York City Office of Financial Empowerment under then Mayor Michael Bloomberg, right after the 2008 recession, has now turned into a movement of over 100 cities and counties working to build resident financial stability through government-led programs and policies in partnership with critical partners like COS. Back in 2008, it became clear that individuals and family financial stability was critically linked to the financial stability of neighborhoods and of communities. It was also clear that financial literacy, whether giving someone a brochure or a website or even a workshop, wasn't enough to meet those residents where they were in a true crisis moment. Residents required greater capability to navigate often complex systems and access safer products and services. And you heard that from the mayor's remarks this afternoon. And that empowered residents to make informed decisions based on the expert advice. And the Financial Empowerment Center from across the country have demonstrated that they have met the crisis moment. by helping residents access their stimulus payments with a safe and affordable bank account, have reduced debt and negotiated delinquent accounts, and navigated public support programs, and understand housing policies and access housing resources. Financial empowerment centers have provided over 267,000 high-quality professional counseling sessions, have reduced $106 million in consumer debt, and built more than $26 million in savings, and have raised credit scores by an average of 35 points. And this success directly translates directly to empowering clients to take control of their financial lives. We found that being financially empowered doesn't just mean that someone knows what to do, but that they know how, when, and have the ability to act. We know that this sense of empowerment builds confidence by applying financial knowledge, skills, and resources to reach their financial goals. And that builds financial capability, and in turn builds greater financial security for them and for the city. Especially over the past year, local governments have had a mandate to provide high-quality services to make a meaningful, measurable impact, and to do it at scale. The pandemic has reminded us that our communities, our neighborhoods, and our cities are only as strong and as resilient as the residents that make them up. Now, as we enter another period of economic recovery, just after the Great Recession, New Haveners have access to a critical tool that the local government and their partners can provide: free one-on-one financial counseling. Across the country, governments are providing professional one-on-one financial counseling as a public service, not only because it has demonstrated impact, but because it is a tool that improves the outcomes of other social services and community development programs, just like you heard from Dr. Delal's remarks. The New Haven FEC has helped ensure that New Haveners have successfully navigated the financial impact due to the COVID-19, and now the program can help ensure that New Haveners continue to not only recover, but thrive in a post-COVID economy. I want to thank Mayor Elicker and Dr. Delal, John, and the whole team at COS and the Board of Alders for their continued dedication to this program, to financial empowerment, and providing residents access to the vital financial empowerment services that give them every tool at this critical moment.
Thank you so much, John Murphy. Corinthian, can you just give us a little information about your experience with the Financial Empowerment Center as a patron of our center?
Absolutely. Can you hear me? Absolutely. As a patron and a longtime resident of New Haven for over 40 years, first and foremost, I'm going to say it's great to have some type of support, to have some type of organization that actually supports those of us that are re-entering into the community and or society. To have an organization such as the FEC to support us, to back us with financial planning, financial goal setting, with housing, with budgeting, with potential employers, interviewing skills. It has indeed been a great interaction when it comes from me personally, myself, in dealing with the FEC. They've done so much for me in regards to getting a job. I were able to come from almost nothing and begin to build a financial budget. Come from almost nothing and be able to do my taxes and do my stimulus check. And a lot of this is contributed to the FEC. So with that being said, even when it comes to bus passes, when it comes to trying to help with housing, when it comes to resume writing, when it comes to interviewing skills, a lot of this is contributed to the FEC. The FEC has most definitely helped me gain full-time financial employment now. And not only that, they help me stay focused and stay goal-driven. I say for a particular period of time that I want to do a short-term goal, and I might get stuck there, but the FEC has helped me to see the long-term goal and stay focused on the long-term things that I need to do where I sometimes may get down by the wayside or feel like, okay, I'm fine where I'm at, I'm stuck where I'm at, or whatever the case may be. And FEC just had my back and 100% helped me see the long-term goals, to see a career within myself, not just a job, to see something that has benefits, something that's going to help benefit me, not just right now, but also in the long-term future to come. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to take the time out to thank the FEC Mayor, the Mayor Elicker, and everyone else that had any part to play with this right here. Because of this, I'm able to do great things with the FEC, as well as have a career-driven life now, not just a job life, not just trying to make it paycheck to paycheck, but because of the FEC, I see careers and I see great things and big things. So big time shout out to the FEC for all that it's doing in my life, not just now, but for the days and years that are to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Corinthian. That's inspiring to hear. Dr. Delisle, are there any other speakers, or should we open up to questions from the press?
We don't have any scheduled speakers, but if anyone from the team wants to say anything that we missed, this would be a good opportunity. Otherwise, I think it'd be great to open up for questions.
Well, of course, I want to say thank you to Stacy, to Fernando, Denise and Katrina, who actually worked so hard through this pandemic. We really had to pivot. We opened actually officially just before the pandemic started. So there was a lot of adjustments we made. And I think we as a team, when you have a heart to really, like Corinthian was saying, see people long term, I think that was the driving force for everyone. And Sheila stepped in, Takima, John Murphy always helps me to make sure I'm on the goal. And I just want to say thank you to everyone, including our partners, which we're able to get resources quickly to people who come to our center because of our partners. So I just want to say community action, Lisa Hardy at Reliant Behavioral Health, they have been responsive and just an amazing team to work with during this pandemic.
I noticed that you had a slide about how people can get plugged in. I think it'd be great to share that again.
Latrice, you're on mute.
Apologize for that. So there are 3 ways you can contact the FEC. You can schedule an appointment through our direct link, which I can put in the chat message in the chat box. You can call our office, and Fernando is great at making sure calls are being answered and that you get assigned to a financial counselor right away. And now we have a website. If you want to know more about the FEC, I can also put our link into the chat, and you can find out more information about what we do and how to get in contact with us. So we want to make sure that everyone can, who is a resident of New Haven, we are a different program where we can meet everyone at different economic needs. So you can be working every day. You may need help with just figuring out your financial goals, your plans. We are that person that you can talk to. So you can even be a city employee and take advantage. You can be a resident, married, single, whatever the gamut, across the board. We're here to meet the financial needs of all New Haven residents. And like I said, we couldn't do this without our partners. City Communities, I'm sorry they couldn't be here, but they have, we are an integrated partner with us. We have different levels of partnership. So if you are watching this and you find that you would like to connect with us as a partner, please contact me and we can, we have different levels of partnership we'd like to go over and how your population can be served through the FEC.
Any questions from the press? All right. Good to see everyone. Thanks again for all your hard work.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone.
Thanks.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good